This book is called Knock Knock. It's by Jan Wall, illustrated by Mary Newell de Palma. This happened a long time ago in Scotland. Witch Ella Legrimble sat spinning at her spinning wheel. The sun sank down, shining copper bright in a purple-pink sky. She sat alone. How she wished for company. Knock, knock at the door. In walked a pair of great big feet and stood before the fire. "Oh my," said Witch Ella, "but feet are not much company." At the door, in marched a pair of teeny weeny legs and sat right down on the great big feet. An owl hooted outside. Witch Ella sat and she spun, but legs are not much company. Knock, knock at the door. In hopped a pair of tough, hard knees and sat right down on the teeny weeny legs. The cat hid in the cupboard. Witch Ella sat and she spun, but knees are not much company. A knock, knock at the door. In leaped a pair of huge fat hips and sat right down on the hard, tough knees. And they're wearing a kilt. A cricket sang his song. Witch Ella sat and she spun, but alas, hips are not much company. Knock, knock at the door. In waltzed an itty-bitty waist and sat right down on the huge fat hips. A mouse scratched on the wall. Witch Ella sat and she spun, but a waist is not much company. Knock, knock at the door. In bounced a pair of broad, hairy shoulders and sat right down on the itty-bitty waist. A slate banged on the roof. Witch Ella sat and she spun, but shoulders are not much company. Knock, knock at the door. In slithered a pair of long, bent arms and sat right down on the broad, hairy shoulders. Soup boiled in the hearth. Witch Ella sat and she spun, but arms are not much company. Knock, knock at the door. In skipped a pair of thick round hands and sat right down on the long bent arms. A dog bayed at the top of Dark Hill. Witch Ella sat and she spun, but hands are not much company. Knock, knock at the door. In crawled a wee small neck and sat right down on the broad hairy shoulders. At last the night grew silent. The moon, it blinked. Witch Ella sat and she spun, but a neck is not much company. Knock, knock at the door. In rolled a pumpkin-sized head and sat right down on the wee small neck. "Oh my," said Witch Ella Legrimble. She was a little bit nervous. Then she asked quietly, "Why do you have such great big feet?" "Well, from lots of walking, lots of walking." "Well, why do you have such teeny weeny legs?" "Well, to hold up my tough hard knees." "Why do you have such tough hard knees?" "Well, from lots of kneeling, lots of kneeling." "Why do you have such an itty-bitty waist?" "Well, to hold up my broad hairy shoulders." "Why do you have such broad hairy shoulders?" "Well, from carrying broom, carrying broom." "Why do you have such long bent arms?" "Well, to hold my hands, to hold my hands." "Why do you have such thick round hands?" "Well, from raking the fields, raking the fields." "Why do you have such a wee small neck?" To hold up my head, to hold up my head. Why do you have such a pumpkin-sized head, she asked. Big brain, witch, big brain. He came closer. Witch, Ella LaGrimble asked in a very tiny voice, and what do all of you come here for? For you, witch, for you. To keep you company. The end.